Hello student, welcome to biology class. Myself Onis God from LPM Public School, and in this video lecture we will discuss about the two topic, that is respiratory volume and respiratory capacity. And in previous video lecture we have discussed about the mechanism of breathing, that is the process of inspiration and expiration. So this topic is also related to the previous topic, that is mechanism of breathing, because the process of mechanism involve the air get occupied and cover a fixed amount of volume. So we will discuss about this volume, and we also discuss about the effort of the various kind of muscles which help in the process of breathing. So the effort of muscle is responsible for our capacity of our body, or enhancing the capacity or reducing the capacity. So on that basis, what will be the advantage of this capacity for our body itself, we also discuss in this video lecture. So first of all, we need to study about some volumes related to our lung, or we can also say that we will study about some pulmonary volume to define or to identify the various kind of respiratory capacity, or it is also known as pulmonary capacity. Pulmonary capacity. So first we will try to know about various kind of respiratory volume or the pulmonary volume, because this volume is related to our lungs, so it is known as pulmonary volume. So first let us see the first volume. It is given the tidal volume. So the tidal volume, how we can define what is the tidal volume? So the definition is here: volume of air inspired or expired during normal respiration or during normal breathing. So when we breathe normally, when our body exists in normal condition, there is no any fear, no any anger, no any physical exercise or physical fast work by our body. During normal condition, the process of breathing or during inhalation or exhalation, so the volume of air inspired or expired means the amount of air we breathe out or breathe in during the normal condition. It was not unknown by a person that how many times we breathe in normal condition. So in normal condition, the amount of or the volume of air that we inhale or exhale, so that volume of air is known as tidal volume, and it is about 500 ml. It means one normal inhalation or one normal exhalation involve 500 ml of air. It means we inhale 500 ml of air, about 500 ml of air during one inhalation, or it can also be defined as, in the case of exhalation or expiration, we also exhale 500, about 500 ml of air to outside the lungs. So this is the tidal volume for one time. And if we find the rate of tidal value, so the rate of tidal value will be 6000 to 8000 ml per minute. How it can be calculated? In previous video lecture we have discussed that the rate of breathing, the normal rate of breathing is about 12 to 16 times per minute. So in 1 minute, if we inhale 12 times, it means the breathing involves both inhalation as well as exhalation. So if we inhale 12 times in 1 minute, so 12 multiplied by 5000 is equal to 6000. But if we inhale 16 times, so 16 multiplied by 5 equal to 500 equal to 8000. So in this way we can calculate the rate of tidal value per minute with the help of the rate of breathing. So this is the tidal value. The normal process of inspiration or exhalation involve or include the volume of air. That volume of air is known as tidal. Now the next is the inspiratory reserve value. So how can we define as the inspiratory reserve value? One thing is clear from the name, that is inspiratory. It means we need to calculate the value of air that we inhale. So this value also include the inhale, but in this value we include some additional air. Some additional air our body can inhale. It means in this to find out this value, that is IRV, inspiratory reserve value, we take some extra effort of our abdominal muscle. We have discussed in previous video lecture also that diaphragm and in external and internal intercostal muscle together perform the process of breathing for normal condition. Normally we breathe with the help of these two muscles, but to enhance the volume of air in our lung or to increase the capacity of breathing, we can also use the abdominal muscle, our abdominal muscle, to increase the force for more amount of air to get in or more amount of air to go out. So this volume of air, these volume of air involve or occupied our body or occupied our lung due to some additional forces, and that forces can be applied by our abdominal muscle. So we can divide as the additional volume of air. Here it is additional volume. It means during the tidal value there is the amount of air, it means 500 ml, but the additional volume of air, it means more than 500 ml, we inhale air a person can inspire by a forceful inspiration. So here it is forceful inspiration. So the forceful inspiration can be occur with the help of some extra effort which is created by our abdominal muscle. So here it is related to our abdominal muscle. And the normal IRB or IRB of a healthy person may vary from 2500 to 3000 ml. It means in one time a normal or a healthy person can inhale due to forcible inspiration 2500 ml to 3000 ml, which is highly more than 500 ml. It means the extra or the additional volume of air. Now it can also be define the volume of air can also be increased by a forcible expiration. It means we can also apply the effort of abdominal muscle to exhale also in more or with more forces. So it is called expiratory reserve value or ERV. In short form we can say ERV. So we can define same as IRV. This is also include some additional value of air. Additional value of air, it means more than 500. It will also be more than 500, but it will be less than IRV because we can feel that to inhale air we can apply the force with the help of our abdominal muscle, but to exhale air, to exhale more air, we cannot apply effort or more effort or the effort of our abdominal muscle as equal to the during the process of inspiration. So this value will be slightly lower than inspiratory or IRV. So we can define the additional value of air a person can expire by forcible expiration. Here it is also involve the forcible expiration, and the forcible expiration can only done with the help of our abdominal muscle. So the question may arises that how can or which muscle is responsible for forcible expiration? So on that case our answer will be the abdominal muscle, or the effort of abdominal muscle is responsible for forcible expiration or forcible inspiration. Both are due to the abdominal muscle. Now, the normal or a healthy person has ERV equal to 1000 to 1100, which is half about the IRV, because abdominal muscle create a small effort to exhale the gases. Now the next one, it is the residual value of air, which is known as RV. So how we can define RV? The residual value of air we can also we have also discussed in our previous class that during the process of breathing or for the efficient exchange of gases, there is requirement of there is an advantage of RV, which are residual value of air. So first let us define the value of air remaining. So it is the remaining value of air in the lungs even after a forcible expiration. Now after a forcible expiration, no total amount of air gets released out from our lungs. Some amount of air remain inside our lung. There are two advantages of that amount of air. The first advantage is to prevent the wall of alveoli to become collapsed, and the other advantage is to maximize the time period for exchange of gases, because diffusion is a slow process. So to maximize the amount of oxygen go inside our blood and carbon dioxide come in our alveoli. So due to this, the residual value of air need to be remain inside our lung. So it is a remaining value of air after a forcible expiration. It means during normal expiration also some amount of air, and after forcible expiration we also require our lung also contain some amount of air, and that amount of air is known as RB. So RB, the normal RB will be 1100 ml to 1200 ml. So the RB can be defined as, it means the residual volume of air, it consists of the volume of air, it means the tidal volume, and along with so it is the normal RB is 1100 ml to 1200 ml. Now by using this volume or by adding these two or more than two of these volume, we can calculate or we can define the pulmonary capacity. So there are number of pulmonary capacity we can define or we can use for the clinical diagnosis of various kind of respiratory disorder or respiratory disease. It means one of the advantage of calculating the respiratory capacity or pulmonary capacity to for our clinical diagnosis or related to the diseases for our respiratory organ. And normally we can calculate this capacity to remain our lung healthy. It means we can we also remain conscious to our lung by calculating this capacity, and in the less or in the decreasing order of this capacity, we can also apply some effort to increase this capacity. So this capacity are indication for a good or bad health. If this capacity will be remain low from normal capacity, so it will be the indication for some problem in our lung. So how we can calculate various kind of capacity? Let us discuss one by one. There are 5 capacity which are responsible or which are helpful for to diagnose the number of diseases related to our lungs. So the first pulmonary capacity, it is the inspiratory capacity. So inspiratory means it is related to the volume of air inspired. So we include the two volume of air and both volume of air involved during the process of inspiration. So here there are two volume of air we study which involve the inspiration. The first is tidal volume. In this we also include the volume of air inspired, and the second, the IRV, we also include the air inspired. So here it is normal and here it is forcible inspiration. It means the total volume of air a person can inspire after a normal expiration. It means after a normal expiration, the capacity of lung to occupy the air, and that capacity of air will be equal to tidal volume and plus inspiratory reserve volume. It means the normal for a healthy person, the IC or inspiratory capacity will be the normal tidal value. It is equal to about 500 ml, and plus a normal IRV, it is about 2500 to 3000 ml. So if we add 2500 ml, so we find out that it is equal to 3000 ml. For normal, it means it is vary from 3000 to 3500 ml. If we take 3000 ml as IRV, so we will find the second value, while if we use this first value, then we find 3000. Now same as IC or inspiratory capacity, we can also calculate the capacity for expiration process. So same as we can define the total volume of air, a person can, so here we will use expired. Here it is inspired, here we use a person can expire after a normal inspiration. And it is equal to the tidal value plus expiratory reserve value. So we can also calculate by using the normal amount of ERV and TB. So the normal tidal value is 500, while ERV is varied from 1000 to 1100. So if we use 1000, so the normal expiratory capacity this is equal to 1500 ml. Now the next is the functional residual capacity. So it is also known as FRC. So we can define it as the volume of air that will remain in the lung after normal expiration. So here the volume of air which remain in our lung after forceful expiration, which is known as residual volume, and related to this residual volume, if we add residual volume to with ERV, means expiratory reserve value, so we can find the functional residual capacity. So here also there are two values we can add to find out FRC. So the volume of air that will remain in our lung after normal expiration, it is known as FRC. Now the next is vital capacity. So vital capacity is the maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after a forced expiration. So ERV or during IRV, the amount of air can a person breathe in after a forced expiration. So here after a forced expiration, it means there are very less amount of air present in our lung, then we require more amount of air to fulfill. It means after forced expiration, it includes the ERV. ERV also get released out, and tidal volume also get released out, and here it is also inspiratory reserve value. So there are three values together form together involved to find out the vital capacity of our lung. And now the next is total lung capacity. So total lung capacity include, there are four values. It can be defined as the total volume of air accommodated in the lungs at the end of a forced inspiration. It means after a forced inspiration, the total volume of air, it means it occupies a large amount of air, so it involves the RV, that is residual volume, ERV, expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume and plus inspiratory reserve volume. So these are the different capacity of our lung, or the different parameters which can involve two or more than two volume related to our lungs. So these are the four volume which are known as pulmonary volume, and using these volume we can calculate the pulmonary capacity of our body, and these pulmonary capacity are helpful to diagnose various kind of respiratory disease of our body.